Wait. Wrong album. Yo, what's up? I know. Only gonna do a random just what 1 hour surprise stream because I've done nothing productive today. I've done nothing productive today, so it's like I need to read for 1 hour. Let me put chat on screen. It's like my girl's sick. I don't know if I'm coming down with something, so it's like I'm gonna read for an hour. What's up, man? I'm already sleepy, but it's like I'm gonna read for an hour with you guys. One sec, let me close my windows. It's fucking cold. Ugh. I think you may have the wrong chapter numbers. I'll be honest, man. I know. I clicked an old live stream because my most recent stream had the bunny girl thumbnail, and I'm like I was too lazy to change the. I was like I'm too lazy to change the thumbnail. I don't know, man. What chapter am I on? 12? 1,000? I don't know. Let me see. We'll find out right now. Let me put on my headphones. Slightly dyslexic? No, street title like the shit. Oh, yeah. That's wrong? Okay. Wait, hold up. I wrapped my headphones around. Yeah, I don't know if I told you guys. I lost my nail. I have so much to watch. Wait, what happened? Don't worry. Hey, man. I didn't finish I didn't finish episode 1 Link Cage, but I saw the first 35 minutes. I didn't watch the last people. People uploaded loads. I have this stream, and Ovid Taku stream. Oh, was he streaming right now? I saw his thing pop up scheduled. My bad. Don't worry, I'm only gonna read for an hour. Yeah, cause I know he streams long, right? Yeah, that's right. Don't worry, I'm only gonna be live for an hour. Ugh! My lobster's too buttery. Man, I've never had lobster before. That's like the one thing I've had clams once, man. Hold up. I also canceled my my Spotify, and it expires in 3 days, so I have to kind of migrate all of this to like one YouTube playlist. So we're gonna have to figure that out. I can do that tomorrow. Yeah, man. I was like, I have an hour. I was like, I'm gonna read. I want to read. It's like I'm doing nothing today. I'm just laying in bed. I'm wasting away, laying down. I was just doom scrolling. How's the essay? Oh yeah, man. How was the essay, bro? I was just doom scrolling, bro. If you want shorter Link Cage episodes, you can watch the unedited version rather than YouTube version. There are unedited versions. No, I like the long episodes. I like it. I like the long format. I just didn't finish it. And then I ate, and then I started doom scrolling. I fell asleep for like 2 hours, man. I'm like, I fucking took a 2-hour nap, bro, from 4 to 6 p.m., dude. I was like, damn, this is a lazy ass fucking Sunday today, man. I was like, I need to get the fuck up. Unless my girl calls me right now, then I'll probably get up. But I think we're good right now. Yeah, I was like, I have 1 hour. Let me read for 1 hour. Let me set all this up. Now I'm working on trig. Oh man, trig was... Did I take trig? Trigonometry? I don't think I took trig. No, I don't think I've taken trig. Alright, chapter's open. Let me put chat on screen. Yeah, I'm gonna read just 1 hour. 1 hour. So we're gonna knock out exactly 1 hour and 10 more minutes of stream time. And then going to bed. Just load this up. Yeah, let me see. And then I know I can't stream Tuesday. I can't stream Tuesday, so we're gonna make sure to stream tomorrow. Yeah, we'll make sure to stream tomorrow because we can't stream Tuesday. Tuesday, I have like another IRL appointment that I have to do. Yeah. Let's do this. Also, my girl really likes the song. We were listening to it in the car today. We had a little ride, a little trip in the morning. And he's like, oh, it's a really calm song. He's like, yeah, it's from stream, actually. 5 tabs. The worst part of Project Trick is that I don't even need it since I changed my major. Dude, that's the worst part. When you're going to school and then you change majors and like, shit, all these other like classes don't fit my requirements and whatnot. You can aim for 3 chapters at least. Yeah, that's right. 12. Okay, we'll take it slow. Yeah. We're gonna take today's stream very, very slow. We got 1 hour. I wasted my whole Sunday. I took a 2-hour nap from 4 to 6 p.m. Went out with my girl in the morning. Also, chat needs to be refreshed. Oh, I haven't added. Yeah. Let's add chat on screen. 1 sec. Before anything. Test. Check. Test. Oh, yeah. There. Why am I saying test? It's okay. Very good. We're good. We are on. Oh, I realized why you guys can't see it. Look. It didn't fit. Oh, that's funny. There you go. That's good. All right. Why isn't Love a mod? We can make him a... Oh, he's our next honorary mod. Yeah. No, Love is next, man. Well, I think Love turned it down last time. He's like, or Mysterious turned it down. They're like, too much power. I think they said only, like, if there's no mods, and like, I will be temporary mod. I think that's what they said. I think that's what Love said. And Mysterious said last time. Not sure. With that being said, we're gonna be live for about an hour. Yeah, we're like, oh, like we're the defense. You can be a mod, I'd approve. Yeah, he's like, we're support. We'll be support mods or something like that, right? I'm trying to remember what they said exactly. That being said, we're gonna stream for like about an hour and 9 minutes. So that being said, let's get straight into it. I don't know if I'm getting sick. I don't know if you guys can hear my voice, or I don't know if it's just because I did nothing today and I was very unproductive. We're gonna read. All right, like, comment, sub, and you guys know the usual. You guys, wow, I'm low energy. It's okay. That's half the fun, right? That is half the fun. Let me turn off this filter. This shit is strong, man. Do you guys ever read with night filters? I need to turn that shit off, man. It's hurting my eyes. Because then this is a super bright light. All right, let's do this. Timestamp, and let's get into it. 1:28. Yeah, man. I'm kind of low energy today. Uncas high in ox? No, definitely not. Never touched drugs in my life. Closest thing I've ever touched was like... Hold up. I've touched... What's the closest thing? The most dangerous thing I've ever tried. Tylenol. Advil. Pepto-Bismol. Oh, shit. What have you touched? Pepto-Bismol, dude. All right, chapter 1,200. What did I do? Oh, shit, I put 12,000. What the heck? Chapter 1,210. I was like, that's so weird. Oh, okay, this is a strong start. In the forsaken lands of the gods at night, when the frequency of lightning was very low, a few humanoid creatures cautiously approached a meatball with 6 legs and more than 10 eyes. They were wrapped in animal skins or clothed with materials that couldn't be identified. With the help of a few lanterns, they passed through the endless darkness with heavy expression. Thank you guys for tuning in right away, too. Damn easy. Have a cuttlefish in all time. On their faces, there were about 10 to 20 tumors. Some of their eyes were nearly... I'm sorry, what is this? On their face, there were about 10 to 20 tumors. Some of their eyes were nearly squeezed together, while the others didn't have a nose with only a black hole in its place. After a series of intense battles, they managed to successfully finish off the monster that split into 2 groups. One of the group guarded the surroundings, and another group reaped the spoils of war. During this process, the man with the many meat tumors on his face dissected the monster's corpse. When he was searching for the edible parts, he suddenly stopped. Adel, what's the matter? The woman without a nose asked curiously, what am I reading? What is going on here? No, we're not on book 4. No, we're on book 6. The man... Oh, wait. I thought you meant volume. Yeah, we're on book 4, dude. The man named Adel slowly retracted his right side and right hand and revealed an item that he had found from the monster. It was a stone-carved amulet covered with marks of corrosion. Continue reading. Oh, makes sense? Okay. I'm like, this is like a random-ass different POV of people in like the Forsaken Lands. I'm like, what's going on, dude? It was a stone-carved amulet covered with marks of corrosion. This is the man whose eyes were nearly squeezed together seemed to understand the reason and hesitated to finish the sentence. Adel surveyed the area and said, Chin res? Chin res? This was given to my father when I was young. I'm sorry, I butchered the
X name. On the day I became an adult, he felt that he could no longer control himself. He chose to leave the city and enter the depths of darkness. When Shin and Russ heard that they fell silent for a moment, they couldn't understand Adel's feelings. This was a common occurrence in... Oh shit, somebody from Moon City. This was a common occurrence in Moon City. As there was no safe edible food, they could only pick up the mutated plant fruits and collect the flesh of the monsters to maintain their survival. Okay, so these are different characters in the Forsaken Lands. As there was no safe edible food, they can only pick up the mutated plant fruits and collect the flesh of monsters and maintain their survival. This resulted in the accumulation of toxins and madness in the body. Because you're eating monsters. After the decline in their physical conditions, they would either die quickly or gradually lose control. In order to not cause any damage to the surroundings and city, those who were part of the latter would often arrange everything. After sensing that their conditions weren't right, with a torch and a small amount of food, they would leave the defensive perimeters and wander into the eternal darkness alone, never to return. The residents of Moon City could imagine what would happen to them. They would either be killed by monsters or become monsters. There was no other possibility. That's a bad way to live. After 7 to 8 seconds of silence, the woman without a nose hesitantly said, "Perhaps this is a monster that killed your father. It has a belt made of animal skin wrapped around it." Adel's voice gradually lowered. He picked up the dagger made of bones and forcefully inserted it, cutting out a relatively normal piece of flesh. Amidst the silence, the members of the hunting team completed their harvest skillfully until Russ, whose eyes were nearly squeezed together, suddenly said in a deep voice, there are more and more deformities. Wow, I cannot read. Deformities amongst the newborn. The price of accumulating toxins and madness for generations wasn't as simple as reducing their average life expectancy. The people who still had normal physical conditions were gradually experiencing some mutations, just like Adel, who had many tumors on his face. Similarly, the toxins and madness could also be passed down to their descendants. Oh shit, okay, it's genetic, causing mutations to appear. Russ and Shen from the hunting team were examples. Their lives would be even shorter, making it easier for them to lose control and mutate. The more abnormalities there were, the more obvious the implications were. The hunting team present knew very well that it might not take more than 2 to 3 generations before the residents of Moon City would lose control before they fully grew up or have children. When that happened, even if there were no external attack, Moon City would quickly be destroyed, leaving behind only stone buildings and murals to prove their existence. I hope the High Priest and the others can find a new direction. Adel stood up with a lantern in hand and answered weakly. In the past 2,000 to 3,000 years, it wasn't as if Moon City had found a way to escape with their current predicament. They had set out a teams of exploration teams that headed deep into the darkness. Some returned after suffering serious setbacks, with nothing to show for their efforts. Some disappeared into the boundless darkness, and nothing was heard from them ever again. In addition, at a distance away to the east of Moon City was a grayish-white fog that blotted out of the sky and land. They were like invisible barriers that not only blocked one's vision, but also prevented any living beings from passing through. The residents of Moon City once believed that this was a place of hope. They believed that the area covered by the grayish-white fog was a normal country. They believed that the other side of the gray-white fog was a land that wasn't cursed. They attempted to enter the grayish-white fog again and again, but all their attempts failed. They had dug a long passageway, hoping to pass through the invisible barrier by going underground. However, the region deep underground was also covered in grayish-white fog. They tried ways to obtain the ability of flight before attempting to cross the barrier at high altitudes, but they didn't manage to see the top of the grayish-white fog before... They tried to obtain the ability of flight before attempting to cross the barrier at high altitudes? How would they fly? Alger can fly, but they didn't manage to see the top of the grayish-white fog before they were struck by lightning. They mobilized the powers of all the demigods and sealed artifacts, attacking the target again and again. Over the past 2,000 to 3,000 years, the cumulative attacks that performed failed to disperse the invisible barrier at all. Invisible barrier. Beyond our powers, I'm guessing. Upon hearing the Captain Edo's words, the members of the hunting team felt hopeless and sad. It was as though they were sliding down the edge of the abyss, but were unable to save themselves. The deformed ones were people who found it difficult to control their emotions. At that moment, the more or less felt like they were suppressed something in their hearts, eager to unleash it. In Moon City, a deformed person wasn't allowed to become a Beyonder or join the hunts or teams 2,000 to 3,000 years ago. They could only do harvesting work. However, as a manpower dwindler, the high priest and the rest of the higher-ups relaxed the restrictions. Let's go. This bit of food isn't enough. Adol looked around, carrying lanterns as he walked deeper into the darkness. They didn't take the risk of extinguishing the fire, causing monsters to surge out into the darkness as if they might not be able to deal with them. In such a quiet and suffocating environment, the members of the Moon City's hunting team couldn't help but have the feelings that they were enveloped in an endless darkness. It was as though it was impossible to find hope regarding the present situation of Moon City. Indeed, Silent Hill Oz City. Silent Hill Oz City, huh? The present situation of Moon City and the amount of time the lanterns in their hands could burn was decreasing. When the last trace of the light dissipated, they would be silently devoured by the darkness. As they walked, a faint yellow light suddenly appeared in Adol's eyes. It was a glow that didn't belong to the hunting team. Okay. This bit of light immediately shone into the eyes of all the members of the hunting team, filling their pupils. Adol, Shin, Russ, and company couldn't help but widen their eyes as they felt a deep sense of shock. Imagine DLC for the Forsaken Lands and DLC game. Dude, it's gonna be so sick. I am so hyped to play that game with you guys. It's gonna be so badass. During their lifetime, there had never been any fires that came from external sources in the history of Moon City after the Cataclysm. Oh, it's gonna be fun, man. Indeed, many monsters possessed the powers of fire of the sun domain, but before attacking, they were all hidden in the darkness without revealing any hint of light. There's a lot of light. And now a fiery glow appeared deep in the darkness. Adol, Shin, and Russ trembled slightly as they thought for a long time but couldn't think of an answer. They quickly recalled the hunting arrangements and confirmed that it was impossible for the residents of Moon City to be nearby. Since the fiery glow didn't belong to the Moon City, where did it come from? The entire hunting team slowed down. They were shocked, surprised, curious, fearful, worried, and terrified. They had also discovered some destroyed cities and knew that their abnormalities and their darkness could be fatal. Be alert. Adol finally snapped out of his daze and gave the order. The hunting team immediately took up a battle formation, waiting for the faint yellow light to approach. Time seemed to freeze at this moment. Every second was slow. Finally, after the fiery glow grew bigger, a figure appeared. A figure? There's only one person. The member of the Moon City hunting team held their breaths. It seems like maybe perhaps there might be a chance of seeing an outsider. 2,000 to 3,000 years have passed and finally someone else has stepped foot on this land. Damn, dude. Just like when like they heard a response, right? After like 2,000 to 3,000 years. It was like this is their moment. They were not only the ones left in this abandoned world. As for whom could travel through the endless darkness and reach this place, Adol and company lacked the experience, so they had no way of guessing. As the fiery glow became bigger and more obvious, the hunting team members gradually saw the figure. It was a slim young man. He had black hair and brown eyes, and expression was cold. He was neither a deformed person nor had he had any abnormal changes. He wore a strange hat and strange clothes. He held a lantern. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Klein. I thought it was Amon. He held a lantern made of a special material as he walked over the darkness. The light of his the light seeker. The light on his lantern was even brighter than the combined light of the hunting team. It made the surrounding darkness fade rapidly. It didn't take long before the light shone on the bodies of the likes of Adol, Shin, and Russ. The figure stopped and looked at the Moon City hunting team. He asked in a low voice, "Where are you from?" He spoke Jotunn. His eyes are clear and he can communicate. Adol opened his mouth, stopped his subconscious urge to reply. He asked in return, "Who are you?" The figure with the glasses lantern replied calmly, "German Sparrow, dude." Oh shit, dude. Chat slow today. No, I know, dude. It's like at this time, dude, we would have been done streaming like an hour ago at our usual time. Yeah, I think I've only streamed at this time like a handful of times. Oh shit, man. The figure with a glass lantern replied calmly, "German Sparrow." After half a year of traveling and overcoming one difficult obstacle after another, Klein's spiritual intuition finally told him that he was finally reaching his destination. Damn, it's almost 5 a.m. I'm sorry, D. And he had also, I'm sorry, man. You guys gotta go to bed, man. And he had also encountered the first batch of living people in his trip. Wow, my nose is stuffy. I think I'm getting sick. And he had also encountered the first batch of living people in his trip across the forsaken lands of the gods. "Where did you come from?" Adol kept his guard up and pressed. Klein swept his gaze across their faces and said without a change in tone, "I came from the city of silver." Yeah, dude. Oh, shit. And also from a land beyond the cursed lands. Upon hearing this answer, all the members of the hunting team were in a daze. They suspected whether they were expecting too much, causing them to hallucinate. In the autumn of 1351, back in the midst of the war, ever since Faina Potter declared war on Lowen, the war had been going on for some time. Had finally lost its balance. Lowen and its allies, Lenberg, Mason, Cigar, had lost a large amount of territory, leaving only the last few lines of defense as they defended with a great difficulty. They were on the brink of being overrun, okay? When she saw the long line of people at the food distribution center through the carriage window, Audrey slowly retracted her gaze and said to her personal maidservant, Annie, turn towards St. Samuel Cathedral. Wow, we haven't seen Annie in a while. Her personal maid. Oh, snap. All right, next chapter. 1-1. No, wait, not 1-1. 1-2-1-1. Give me a sec. Yeah, man. I don't know. I think I am getting sick. Fuck, man. I was being too nice, man. My girl was sick. My girl was a little bit sick yesterday, and she was pretty sick today. And I'm like, yeah, it's okay, babe. Let me take care of you. Worth it, though. It's worth it. I love her. It's okay. No, man. But I feel like I'm coming down with something now. Place chapter. The curse of the demoness strikes. I know, man. The demoness strikes again, man. You're right. The demoness strikes again, man. Demoness element. And you know what's so funny? We were literally sick a week ago, man, for our early Thursday stream because of Critical Role. I'm not trying to have another sick day, but you know what? If we do it, we can have another long reading sesh. I'll tell you that much. Chapter 1211 is called Unimaginable. Wouldn't that be unimaginable? As the carriage drove slowly along the road, Audrey's gaze subconsciously looked out the window. Many passersby stood by the roadside, staring at the horse that was pulled by the carriage. Their eyes seemed to be emitting a greedy glint as the lucky ones who successfully collected their food. They ran through the streets superstitiously and headed for home. A team of policemen in black and white checkered uniforms were patrolling the streets. They had revolvers by their waists and batons in their hands, a means to deter anyone from wanting to take risks. Recently, we don't even dare to go on the streets alone, the personal maidservant Annie whispered to her. Audrey nodded slightly but didn't respond. After a while, the carriage arrived at Phillip Street and stopped at the square in front of St. Samuel Cathedral. The flock of pigeons that were usually here was nowhere to be seen. The Lowen Charity Bursary Foundation, as well as the subsequent establishments of the Lowen Poverty Relief Foundation and the Lowen Medical Charity Foundation, had all removed the 22 Phillip Street to a few small rooms in the cathedral. Yeah, what's up, man? What's up, Seth? Yeah, I know. Usually we don't stream at this time, but I was like, I need to do something today, man. It's like I got to read, man. This was because, and I was like, I can't do it off stream. It has to be live. This was because the buildings that they were originally housed in had collapsed due to the previous airstrikes. To the staff of these streets, thank you for tuning in, by the way, man. To the staff of these three foundations, it was a harrowing memory. If they hadn't left 22 Phillip Street in advance due to the different reasons, they would have long been killed. After alighting for the carriage and walking through the main door, Audrey saw a black-haired, brown-eyed girl with a rather thin face approach. Before the other party could speak, she said, Melissa, is there any more food that can be distributed? Okay, Melissa shook her head solemnly. Oh, man, it's Melissa. Please. Don't do anything reckless, man. Be safe. Melissa shook her head solemnly. Even those injured soldiers who provided relief for can't receive enough food. Audrey Green, can you guys hear the music, by the way? Audrey's green eyes dimmed. She didn't show how helplessness or weakness as she nodded slightly. I will think of a way. From the city of Silver, thank you for the emotes. From the city of Silver, from a land beyond the cursed lands, German Sproul's words echoed in the ears of the Moon City hunting team members, Ado, Shin, and Russ. It made them feel like they were in a dream, unable to regain their senses for a long time. Just as Ado gradually regained his senses and was thinking of a way of what to say to Shin, who was born without a nose, inundated Klein with a series of questions. Where's the city of Silver? What does it look like? How far away is it from here? How many normal people are there outside of the cursed area? Klein glanced at her and replied in a motionless voice, the city of Silver is located on the other side of the cursed lands. They discovered a type of plant that can be eaten normally called black-face grass. This has allowed them to maintain their kind's stability and effectively exploring the depths of darkness in a bid to find a way to leave. Oh shit, dude, they're probably so mad. They recently found some mushrooms. These mushrooms can use monsters and nutrients, forming all kinds of fruits to not contain toxins and madness. The city of Silver has gone one step further in escaping the madness. Once the newborns become adults, they wouldn't easily lose control even at old age. Those words made Adol, Shin, and company feel lost, as though their own persistent efforts had no meaning. No, don't say that. The city of Silver described by German Sparrow was the most beautiful scene they could imagine, yet it was something so easily possessed by others. Are there any deformed newborns? Shin asked in a dreamy tone. Klein shook his head. Almost none. Will their parents walk into the depths of darkness by themselves when their physical conditions deteriorate? No, when they become old. Ada subconsciously pressed. Wearing a black trench coat, a top hat, and holding a lantern, Klein replied, no. Because they are burdened with the curse of killing their own kin. If a life cannot be ended by the hands of the blood relative, they will turn into a terrifying evil spirit or monster. The members of the hunting team in the Moon City finally found a sense of reality. Their hearts felt like they were slowly rising in a warm water as the bubbles slowly emerged. Bubbles? Are they crying? These bubbles were weak, empty, and easily prickled. There was nothing inside, but they shimmered with something called hope and light. This is a good volume, dude. Russ, his eyes were nearly squeezed together, couldn't help but repeat the question, how many normal people are there outside of the cursed area? Klein looked at them with a complicated expression. They are basically normal. They don't need to be constantly worried about monsters attacking them. They don't have to be afraid of being in the darkness. They don't go crazy after growing old. They aren't burdened by all kinds of curses. They see sunlight every day when they wake up with sufficiently normal food. Every night the crimson moon rises. Dude, no fucking shot. Klein doesn't lift the curse, and like Klein doesn't resolve the whole issue here in the Forsaken Lands. There's no shot we don't have a volume kite light seeker and we don't resolve this issue. Like, we have to resolve this issue, this volume, dude. Like, there's no way we don't, and after calling it light seeker. However, all this is being distorted now. Klein silently added in his heart, okay? This time, Adol, Shin, and Russ were somewhat at a loss. This is because they found Grimmer's restriction as something imaginable, but also seemingly unimaginable, okay? It was just like when they were reading the few ancient books remaining, they could get the spirit of the matter, but found it hard to truly understand certain contexts. They had no idea what the sun and what the crimson moons were. However, to have normal food every day without the burden of various curses, the worry of monster attacks or darkness, and the lack of going crazy in old age was a beautiful dream they yearned for day and night. There's such a place in this world. Is this what heaven, as recorded in the ancient books, is? Was this land really cursed? The members of the Moon City hunting team fell silent once again. One of them opened their mouths, but was at a loss to ask what to ask. Someone wanted to bring German Sproul back to the Moon City and inform High Priest of the news, wanting to inform everyone, but he was afraid of attracting danger. Danger? Yo, what's up, Boyd? I know, I'm sorry, I usually don't stream at this time. I know. Usually I'm already getting ready for bed at this time, but like I was like, I need to do something, and I'm feeling kind of sick, and I was like, I've done nothing today. It's like I need to read for at least an hour. During this, dude, thank you for tuning in, man. During this process, they didn't let down their guard or vigilance. Klein wasn't the least bit surprised with their attitude. Instead, he felt that this was the reaction a civilization that could last to this day in the Forsaken Lands of the Gods ought to have. With the lantern in hand, he took a step to the left, attempting to walk around the humans who were dressed in strange materials or animal skins, as he continued heading east. Regardless of what story these people had, whether it was worth helping them in passing, he planned to wait until he began his investigations before listening to the considering things. This was because his spiritual intuition told him that his destination wasn't far, and that the legendary West Continent was just 2 to 3 hours away on foot. Wait, that's what you guys were talking about. Like, if you keep traveling, if you keep, wait, by the way Username D and everybody else explained it, if you keep going east in the Forsaken Lands, i.e. like Europe, China, Russia, like that whole region, you do a loop, right? So you end up on the Western continent from America. Dude, man, I live on the west side of America, man. If I go west, I end up in Europe. Like if I go west, I end up in Europe. See, easy. If you go east in Chernobyl, dude. If you China. I need to look up a world map. You end up in China, right? If we're going east from Chernobyl, and we go all the way, you will reach Asia. Okay, we're good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. See, I know my geography. All right. I know. I scared some of you guys. Geography was easy. Easy. See, I got it. You see, I figured it out. As Klein, first let me find my step. Where does it say he was gonna go west? I'm gonna awkwardly pause the video. One sec. He walked adequate speed, waiting for them, attempting dispersing endless fog. I lost my fucking place. Who exactly are you? Adol, Shin, and company looked at each other. I lost my fucking place. Oh, wait. Hold up. I accidentally didn't read this part. And that the legendary West Continent was just 2 to 3 hours away on foot. Okay, so we're at the top of this page. Easy talking about geography and lost his place. Damn. I bet you guys think that was going to happen in the same sentence, huh? The moment he took a step forward, Adel and company immediately bent their backs, bracing themselves to defend the attack. However, they didn't manage to see German Sparrow approach them. That was close. They watched as he walked more than 10 meters to the left and continued heading forward. Seeing that this young man dressed in strange black clothes and a strange black hat with a strange and transparent lantern, gradually distancing himself from them, the dim yellow light grew weaker and weaker. Adel's face, which was covered in tumors, changed. He shouted loudly, "Who exactly are you?" Klein didn't turn around. Instead, he held a lantern that emitted a faint yellow light and walked deeper into the darkness. Wow. Dude, this is so good. He said in a regular tone, "A missionary." Dude, I got tear my eye. This is hype. "A person to spread my lord's brilliance is like prayed to the full." Adel, Shin, and company looked at each other, their expressions filled with confusion. They hesitated for a long while, but when there was only a small trace of dim yellow light, they instinctively took a step forward and followed behind Klein. They didn't dare to approach him, nor did they want to have him leave their sight. They carried the food they had proceeded as though they were monitoring and chasing after him in a defensive manner. As for Klein, he walked at an adequate speed, not waiting for them or attempting to shake them off. Just like that, both sides walked in silence under the sparse lightning. Wow, they're following him? At some point in time, Russ and another hunting team had left the main group. They held an animal hide lantern and the food they had obtained and turned around, suddenly disappearing into the endless darkness. This is so creepy. You're just walking into it, man. The endless void. Seconds changed to minutes before Klein finally stopped. Using the lightning that striked across the sky, he saw a grayish-white fog a few hundred meters away. The mist was connected to the land and extended all the way into the sky as though it didn't have an apex. At the same time, the fog extended to the two sides without any end. Klein looked at it intently for a long time. Even though they were the partitions of darkness, he slowly raised his head. After the second bolt of lightning calmed down, he looked away. Behind the fog, or inside of it, is the disappeared western continent. Okay, so we're almost at Asia. I disconnected my mic, I'm sorry. As he thought with a heavy heart, he couldn't help but slow down his breathing. He carried the lantern and continued forward until the dim yellow light emitted a solidified mist. There was no need for him to make any other attempts, for his intuition is here. He could tell that the grayish white fog was an invisible barrier that couldn't be passed through the conventional means. I'm sorry. Why is Asia blocked off? The whole... It's all great? Wait, hold on. I'll read it right now. I got you. He thought for a moment and stretched out his right hand to scratch the darkness in front of him again and again. After doing it 4 to 5 consecutive times, Klein pulled out a black king with the many gems embedded in it. Is it the new staff? This was the Staff of the Stars, a terrifying sealed artifact known as 062 that had been swapped using the box of the great old ones. Of course, he's gonna use it? Oh, shit. Of course, all he did was summon the historical projection of the staff. Oh, okay. He only summoned the historical projection of the Staff of Stars. This way, even if they were unnecessary scenes, they appeared in his mind. He could use the removal of the historical void projection to stop any corresponding dangers that appeared in a timely manner. To a scholar of yore, this was the best way to regularly use a grade 0 sealed artifact. However, this limited the effects and was something that couldn't exceed 3 minutes at that moment. Furthermore, there was a certain difference with the original version when it came to their effects. Using a marionette to hold the Staff of the Stars wasn't the best way to avoid any negative effects. This was because a marionette needed to be controlled, and any control has a high chance of transmitting scenes. Okay. Of course, if he engaged in a battle when he was prepared, Klein wouldn't have done so. This was because it would occupy one of the 3 precious summoning spots. Furthermore, although the Staff of the Stars belongs to him, it was only in a state of forced ownership, and it remained in a sealed state. Furthermore, the Grade 0 sealed artifact has a rather high level. It was impossible for Klein to successfully summon it at once, so it usually took him 3 to 6 attempts. In a fierce battle, it would require plenty of chances, nothing simple. And it was precisely because of this that when he prepared to perform, he would hypnotize himself He hypnotizes himself in advance. By using the Staff of Stars in a special state, he would preserve the ability to summon historical void images like Miss Messenger, Mr. Zick, Miss Ma'am Mariana, Will Austin, and other familiar figures. He would preserve the ability. He preserves the ability? Minecraft inventory sequence unlocked, dude. Holding the black staff that was embedded with various gems, a scene of the door slowly opening appeared in Klein's mind. The gems of the staff flashed with a faint glow as the... Okay. The gems on that staff flashed with a faint glow as a grayish-white fog quickly outlined a door that wasn't sufficiently real. The door opened slightly, and behind it was still a gray fog. Door opening doesn't work. Oh shit, not even that works? Is it lagging? Maybe. I'm sorry. Door opening doesn't work. Although he wasn't surprised by the outcome, he was still a little disappointed. He thought for a moment and decided to switch tactics. However, just as he was thinking about it, the staff of stars automatically activated. The corresponding scene appeared. I'm sorry, it reacts on its own? Spreading radiance? I'm sorry, who's spreading radiance? Klein, Amon, Adam? Like who are we talking about here? Who is this chapter referencing? Let's keep reading, man. Who the fuck are we referencing this chapter? 27, 33. Timestamp. Might be my internet. At least on my end, it does say we're stable. Maybe, yeah, maybe unknown. I'm not sure, because I usually when I'm lagging, it at least tells me. But I think my stream health is pretty good right now. Other chapter volume 6 self and read, dude. It's been really good, man. Was it? So the whole volume 6 is great. Adventure revelations, undertone of the loneliness of the client, and more to come. More to come. I will never forget this volume. You guys are hyping up this volume just a little bit, man. All the chapters, man. Oh my god, you guys are hyping this volume up just a little bit. The Chernobyl reveal, I think, was probably like the greatest reveal in all of LL2M. And the fact that I wasn't spoiled, thank the fool. And the fact that people say there's still a little bit more in this volume that's gonna shock you. It's gonna be big. I'm fucking pumped, dude. All right, chapter 1212 is called Spreading Radiance. All right. Just now, as Klein was thinking of a solution, an image naturally came to mind. The clouds in the two mountains began to bowl rapidly as they spread out left and right, revealing a crack whose bottom couldn't be seen. The orange-red rays of the sunlight filled it and formed a corporeal path. This was the scene created when Blasphemer Amon entered the projection of the Giant King's court. Oh, his projection? And just when he entered for the first time at the beginning of this volume, like when he took Klein. And just as he felt that he didn't know enough about the corresponding powers and planned on switching to another method, the red, green, blue, and transparent gems of the Staff of the Stars had already begun to emit a faint glow as they automatically activated. The solidified grayish-white fog was similarly boiling, but it wasn't the intense. They were churning backwards as they parted, but the area right in front of him remained an endless grayish-white mass. There was no end to it. Klein sighed in his heart as he focused on controlling his thoughts. He made other attempts. In the past 3 minutes, he had tried hard at least 10 times. 7 times were of his own will, while 3 times were him venting out, but he ultimately was unable to open an invisible barrier. Okay, so what's going to happen? Indeed, normal methods don't work. With a flick of his wrist, he allowed the historical projection of 062, which was close to its limit, to disappear from the real world. Easy can read in an hour? Just seeing how much Easy can read in an hour? Yeah, we're just going for an hour. Yeah, we'll find out. He stared at the silent grayish-white fog and didn't move for about a minute. It was as if he had turned into a statue. Finally, Klein closed his eyes and looked away. Holding the lantern in his hand, he walked towards a nearby human who were watching. Okay, they're still following? He didn't plan on making blind attempts because there was a high chance that he wouldn't succeed. He planned on asking the people who had stood up guarding in the vicinity for 2,000 to 3,000 years. It was obvious that these ancient survivors had explored the grayish-white fog. He wanted to see if he could find inspiration to find their years of experience. Based on Klein's assumption, the humans would definitely react excessively towards him, so he had already prepared the corresponding powers to allow them to speak to him calmly. However, when he looked at the light of dusk on both sides of the lantern, he realized that the ugly or deformed humans were staring at him with their mouths agape. They looked confused and shocked, as if they had temporarily lost their ability to think. Well, I mean, shit, dude. If you grew up one way and then like your whole world shatters, I feel like that makes perfect sense. Klein frowned slightly. In the darkness, he walked unhurriedly to the ancient survivors and stopped about 2 to 3 meters away. What do you know about this fog? Klein asked Joe to move a deep voice. The language that could stir the powers of nature didn't have any differences because of geography. There was only a slight difference in the accent, but it wasn't much. If the original version was modified, there was a chance that the effects of the ritualistic magic would be lost. It was only when Sparrow raised the question that Adol seemed to snap out of his daze. His lips quivered as he answered in an ambiguous tone. We have never caused the fog to change before. Just now, Sparrow had caused the fog to boil like water and part to the sides. Holy shit. Oh man, looking like a messiah, dude. This scene had really frightened them, as though they were witnessing a miracle. A miracle invoker indeed. The two, I know he's not going miracle invoker, but damn. This was also the main reason. Did I skip them? Did I skip something? I did skip something. The 2,000 to 3,000 years of hard work from numerous generations of Moon City inhabitants were inferior to a person holding a staff with an attempt that didn't last more than 200 heartbeats. This was also the main reason why they had given up on resisting when Germanspur approached them. They instinctively believed that no matter how they avoided him, it would be to no avail. After 2 seconds of silence, Klein continued asking, "Do you have any corresponding research?" Yo, man, take care. I think Seth headed out already, right? Going back to work? No, man, thank you for tuning in, man. At this moment, Ado understood what Germerspittle meant. He hesitated for a moment and slowly nodded. Yes, however, only the high priest and the others would frequently look through it. Wearing a black trench coat and half-top hat, Klein thought for a moment and subconsciously reached out to pull out an item from the void. It was a cross covered in bronze with several sharp spikes protruding out from it. It was the historical image of the ancient sun god's uncharted crucifix. With the cross in hand, Klein raised it a little higher and aimed at it and ancient survivors. Pure, bright, and warm light bloomed, dispersing the darkness around them and illuminating them. Their combat experiences made them instinctively attempt to defend themselves, but their action stopped midway through the process. The brightness and warmth wasn't something a bonfire could compare with. This made the remaining members of the Moon City hunting team recall the deities described by the ancient books and the high priest. There were deities who emitted boundless light and brought boundless warmth. Under the illumination of the bright pure light, a distorted, struggling, illusory black gas that seemed to have a life of its own began to boil from their bodies. Began to boil from the bodies of Ado, Shin, and company, and quickly rising and dissipating. The members of the Moon City hunting team felt that their bodies became more and more relaxed, and the pressure within their souls disappeared. Is it GG? Wait, and the pressure within their bodies disappeared. After purging... Oh, okay. Okay, we saved them. After purging the cumulative corruption and elements of their bodies, Klein shook his wrist slightly, causing the uncharted crucifix to disappear in front of him. Okay. Alright, good. We saved them. Right on the heels of that, he grabbed another cane that looked like an ordinary wooden color. I love Klein helping them here so much. It's beautiful, dude. The corruption is the one form of the black gas. Ah, the black gas is the corruption. Okay. He's removing their toxicity, their corruptions. Got it. Everything they've accumulated from eating monster parts and all other stuff, right? Got it. Alright. Ah, this is beautiful, man. I hope they don't die now. I'm starting to like Adel. I'm liking these characters now, man. This is the former City of Silver sealed artifact Life's Cane. I don't remember what Life's Cane does. Although he had already sacrificed it to the Evernight Goddess, as long as it was once owned by Scholar of Yore, it would only accompany them in a different way. With Life's Cane in hand, Klein took a few steps forward and used the end of the cane to take the leap of Moon City's hunting team. The experience from before made Adel unable to dodge. The tumors on his face began to crack and pus flowed, faded, and disappeared. In the end, there wasn't even a single scar left. From the looks of his team members, Adel knew that he had undergone a change. He hesitantly raised his right hand and touched his face from the top to bottom and back up again. He kept repeating it. During this process, he realized that he was in an unprecedented healthy state, one that was better than when he first became an adult. Klein didn't look at him. He took a step diagonally and used Life's Cane to treat the rest of the ancient survivors. No way we're going to help them. With Adel as an example, Shin and the others were on guard and alert as they accepted contact with the cane. They felt that they had obtained a new lease of life. Amongst them, the two deformed beings who were easily emotional couldn't help but tear up. Oh, I'm about to tear up. So the one that lost her nose, right? Like she gains her nose back. Like they just heal all their wounds and deformities. Oh man, it's beautiful. Unfortunately, I can't treat natural defects. Mental illnesses can be treated, but some crazy tendencies can't be treated. Klein retracted his right hand and let the historical projection of Life's Cane disappear. He walked to his original spot and turned around. He looked at the ancient survivors and said, "I'm not here to destroy, but here to spread the radiance of my Lord, bringing light and warmth. Go back and tell your leader that I'm here. If he's willing, he can come over." Oh man, this is beautiful. What the fuck? He didn't attempt to find out where the gathering point of these ancient survivors was, nor did he plan on going there directly. This would trigger the strongest form of resistance and vigilance, hence giving them the choice that was most suitable solution. At that moment, Adel, Shin, and the others were already shocked by German Sparrow's constant pulling out of mythical items. They felt that they were walking into a miracle and had already been cleansed by the divine light, allowing the physical conditions to recover to its optimal state. It even exceeded their peak. Damn, this is good, man. All shall be recorded. Man, I'm getting a little emotional, man. RL is making... Man. Oh, stop, man. This shit is making me think of RL, man. That's crazy. Man, imagine life was that good. Like, all it takes is, like, a miracle cane and it'll, like, heal all your ailments. Man, that'd be beautiful. Fuck, man. At this moment, Adol, Shin, and the others were already shocked by Gurman's constant pulling out of mystical items. They felt that they were walking into a miracle and had already been cleansed by the divine light, allowing their physical conditions to recover to its optimal state. It even exceeded to its peak. Yo, Void, man. Welcome to level 1, man. Thank you. Alright, a few seconds later, Ada responded. Just as they turned around and prepared to return to Moon City, flames lit up from the... Fuck, I'm gonna need like a quick 2 minute after this chapter, man. I got a little emotional. Ah, man, just as they turned around and prepared to return to Moon City, flames lit up from the depths of darkness as they rapidly approached. The leader was an old man wearing a dark brown beast hide. His hair was gray and unkempt, and his face was full of real cracks. High Priest, after recognizing the other party, Shin blurted out. It was none other than Moon City's High Priest, Nim. Behind Nim followed Russ and the other members of the hunting team who had returned to the city ahead of time, as well as several other High Priest Beyonders. Nim nodded at Adol. Do I have audio coming out of my PC? What was that? Oh, shit. Dude, man. Thank you, man. Behind them, following Russ and the other members of the hunting team, who had returned to the city ahead of time, as well as several other high sequence Beyonders, Nim nodded at Adol, Shin, and the rest before walking to the front of the group. Looking at the man who claimed to be missionary, Gurman, he crossed his arms and bowed. Honorable guest, I am Moon City's High Priest, Nim. Moon City once belonged to vampires, okay? But that civilization has been destroyed in ancient times. Afterwards, we accepted the orders of the great sun god, of the Lord who created everything, and we moved here to watch the grayish-white fog and make the corresponding attempts. That continued on even though the land was cursed and the Lord didn't respond to us. To date, 3,722 years have passed. Fuck, man. Wow. Damn, it's been a long time just waiting for something. The eternity imperturbable... Fuck is this word? Cuttlefish, man. How do you come up with this, man?
The eternally imperturbable fog.
Imperturbable fog. The eternally... Oh, my God. The eternally imperturbable fog. Oh, my God. Let it go easy. I'll let it go. I'll let it go. I'll let it go. Oh, man. Oh, man. Hold on. I need a minute. Let me get some water. We understand? Hey, thanks, man. You can tell I'm American, huh? Wiz got it good, man. Them Canadians, man, they know them pronunciations. You know what's funny? I was watching How I Met Your Mother last night. I watched How I Met Your Mother with my girl, and one of the characters is Canadian. So she talks like this. She has her Canadian accent slips every so often. And there's a joke that Canadians are scared of the dark. And I was gonna hit up Wiz last night, like, hey man, is it true Canadians are scared of the dark? But I didn't want to sound mean, so I did it. The parallels drawn in this volume is so good. Oh man, all right, give me a sec, man. Let me see if I have water. Yeah, I have water. Give me a sec. Oh man. Dude, I started playing Disco Elysium. It's pretty good. I played like the first hour. Easy American Bully Peak Art. Oh hell no. Oh man. I'm not gonna lie, fuck that. I wouldn't bully people. I was bullied when I was a kid. Oh man. It was bad. I was also kind of mean back then too. I guess it was give and take, right? Like you'd be mean to people that were mean to you. And it was like this never ending cycle. Eating drinking water makes me think about the sealed artifact Klein had, which made him thirsty. Oh, the sunburst charm? Nah, man, what the fuck? Wait, hold on. Let me not record so it's not a really long video. I'm here? What's up, D? Nah, man, what the fuck? The cycle of hatred. It's, as Barney would say in How I Met Your Mother, it's the what was it? The cycle of screaming? Or some shit like that. Nah, man, what the fuck? This shit heads me thinking about real life, man. I know someone that's sick right now and like, fuck, man. I wish there's a fucking guy like Klein Moretti just walking around with historical void projections and can summon life's cane and just heal them, man. Fuck, man. This fucking breaks my heart reading this shit. Fuck, man. I hate, I mean, it's good. I hate when I read something and then makes me think about real life. Fuck, man. This shit. But like, you know, that's how you know you're reading something good. What's up, man? What's up, D? But that's how you know you're reading something good. When like something resonates with you like that. All right, man. Let's read. Well, I think we're gonna read one more chapter. Ah, man. All right. All right. This is probably going to be our last chapter for today. So we just read 1, 2, 3. We read like 4 chapters. Okay, in about an hour. Okay. Chapter 1213 is called The Eternally Imperturbable Fog. And just to double check,
The eternally imperturbable.
we got it good. If something happens to Melissa right now, Easy would give up. I fucking give up, man. I know. I would. I swear nothing but a fucking happen to her, man. I'll be so mad, dude. If even she gets like a little cut, I'm gonna be so mad. Just a little cut on her, I'm gonna be pissed off. Even, oh my god, any of the siblings, I won't be pissed. 3,722 years, and they were sent here when the ancient sun god was still alive. With the City of Silver's continued survival under darkness for more than 2,000 years, as he referenced, Klein easily confirmed the words of the Moon City High Priest. He nodded slightly and asked, "Are you guarding this fog to prevent any anomalies from happening to it?" The High Priest Moon City, who was draped in dark brown beast hide, Nimshik said, "The revelation that the Lord gave us was to guard the area all day. We need to know if anyone walks out of the fog." Who the fuck would walk? Someone trapped in Asia's side would walk out of the gray fog? We needed to know if anyone walk out of the fog. So not walk in, so Klein's good, but walk out. Walks out of the fog. The ancient sun god had a premonition that the person would walk out of this fog. If the other side of the fog is really the western continent, does this mean that there might still be life and civilization in it? Whoa, wait. Are you telling me there's this whole fucking void like in Asia where like Asia lived on like in our time? So it's like everything past the fog is our era, but like in 3,000 years. Wow, okay, whoa, what the fuck? When Klein heard of this, an indescribable palpitation struck his heart, but he deeply realized this in reality. Bro, get the fuck out of here. No shot civilization just... It's like Attack on Titan. Like, they're all on the island and they just don't know what's out there. I'm sorry. Get out of here. Oh, shit. Or it's like in Westworld. Wait, hold up. Not to get into Westworld spoilers, but it's kind of like Westworld. Okay, that'd be fucking hype. Amon's father, the second creator, was actually unable to open this grayish-white fog and even needed to send people here to watch over it. Okay, so if he isn't able to open it... No, you're okay, Zen. We're only reading an hour today. Is there a specific... And we didn't even plan it, so I'm sorry, man. Is there a specific method needed to pass through this invisible barrier? Mr. Hanged Man mentioned before that the Queen of Calamity, Kohanim, said that an incantation or a command might be needed. Also, the premise is that the western continent has already resurfaced. As Klein looked at the high priest with deep lines on his face, he said without battling an eyelid, I believe they have already introduced me to you. I'm a missionary. I've come to this land to spread the light of the Lord." The high priest of the Moon City Nim maintained his composure and used his gray eyes that were the same color as his long hair to look at Klein. "Your Excellency, which existence do you believe in?" Klein instinctively wanted to answer directly, but considering his identity as a missionary that he had set for himself previously, he held back his shame. With the ability of a clown, he controlled his facial muscles and revealed a slightly fanatical expression. "Please permit me to introduce you to my lord, the savior of this land, the great Mr. Fool." The Fool! The Moon City High Priest Nim and the others didn't expect to hear such a word. For a moment, they found it strange, but for some reason, they felt that this was an infinite philosophy hidden within. Finally, their attention was focused on the description of the savior of this land. Nim couldn't help but turn his head to look at Adol and the rest, observing their radiant faces. As a sequence for demigod, he knew very well that this was a result of the cleansing of the toxin and corruption accumulated within their bodies. Furthermore, the members of the hunting team had also been given an excellent treatment. If he hadn't seen this group of young people grow up and remembered how they looked before the changing, he definitely wouldn't dare to confirm that they were residents of Moon City. Seeing the high priest look over, Adol immediately said excitedly, "His Excellency Sprout prayed for a deity's blessing to save us." Easy, can you glaze yourself like Klein? I can't even do that. Maybe I could probably do that. We'll see. Yeah, we saw light. We felt warmth. Shen, who was without a nose, added, After the catharsis, she had unknowingly developed a certain belief towards the lords that German Sparrow mentioned already, compared to the creator who had never responded to prayers and ignored the resurface and ignored the suffering of the Moon City faced. This existence was more like a deity. Russ and the other members of the hunting team that went back to the Moon City to inform the high priest looked covetously at their former companions. They were both envious and had a yearning for new life they had obtained. Oh shit. The high priest Nim retracted his gaze and looked at German Sparrow, who was wearing a strange clothes and a strange hat. Is the great Mr. Foley a deity in this world? No, from outside of this cursed land. Klein nodded solemnly and slowly. Yes. Then what about the great sun god who created everything? Nim hesitated for a moment before asking the question and desired answers to the most. Klein changed the tone to that of a charlatan and said, of the king's betrayal of that existence, blood, anger, and foulness and shadows began to flow across this land, triggering a huge calamity. Nim's pupils dilated slightly, as if he wanted to absorb more light to see where the world in front of him. With great difficulty, he tried his best to suppress something and ask, are you saying that the Lord perished because of this? Not only did he perish, but his flesh and blood were also eaten by the traitors. Oh shit, he's telling him about them. This piece of land was cursed or resolved, taking advantage of the fact that he was in the forsaken lands of the gods. Klein boldly said this. He didn't deliberately distinguish the Amon brothers from the other 6 kings of angels. He planned on making the residents of the Moon City believe that all the kings of angels were traitors. This way, they wouldn't be fooled by Amon in the future. Okay, so then they're all wary of him. Over the past half a year of traveling and the various experiments, he undertook. Okay, not here. He was convinced that the forsaken lands of gods really was sealed, or rather, it was isolated from the outside world. The only point of contact was either the exit of the Giant's Keep Court or something at the level of Safari Castle. Therefore, using the Staff of Stars here allowed him to move within the confines of the Cursed Lands. He was unable to head to the scenes in the outside world as he outlined in his mind. In addition, even historical projections of the Box of the Great Old Ones was suppressed and isolated. The moment the summoning succeeded, the projection would immediately be devoured by the environment. It was completely useless. This made him suspect that even the third level of the Box of the Great Old Ones was a little dangerous for the true deities, such as the true creator. Upon hearing German Sparrow's words, the body of the high priest of the Moon City, Nim, trembled slightly as his pockmarked face instantly turned ashen. The face of the Beyonders behind him changed as well. It was as they had suffered an extremely serious blow. One even showed signs of losing control. Fuck is going on? Is it the corruption or something else? Seeing this, Klein reached out his hand again and pulled out Life's cane from his void, allowing it to fly through the air and accurately tap the target. Okay, it was just a corruption. The signs of the Beyonders losing control immediately vanished. His forehead was covered in sweat as if he had just overcome a major illness. Following the removal of the historical void projection, Life's cane quickly faded away. As for the Beyonders of the Moon City, they finally managed to break free from the grievous news. Some of them were filled with suspicions and disbelief, and the others were whimpering softly. Some looked at German Sparrow with a lost look. Fuck, man, this is good. This is so good. Oh my god, this is so good. This is so fucking hype, dude. Holy shit. Klein is actually gonna save these people. Oh shit. At some point in time, Nim's eyes also closed. Oh man. Wait, I lost my place. Some looked at German Sparrow with a lost look as though he was their final hope. At some point in time, Nim's eyes had already closed. 2 or 3 seconds later, he opened them again and looked at German Sparrow. What do you have to ask? In less than a minute, he looked like he had aged considerably. His body was beginning to show signs of decay and depression. However, it wasn't completely without hope. It was as if the trees were rotting away, but they were beginning to give birth to new life. Klein half turned and pointed at the cogitated gray fog with a lantern in his hand. Since when did you begin attempting to open this screen? What did you achieve? Nim said frankly, in the beginning, it was the Lord's revelation. While he wanted us to watch over it, he also wanted us to think of a way to pass through the fog. So he didn't know. After the land was cursed, we used this mainly guide use as to seek hope. However, we ultimately didn't achieve anything concrete. No matter what method we've used, the solidified mist didn't react. Upon saying that, he hesitated and said, "It's not that there's no reaction, but it wasn't the reaction we wanted." Klein instinctively saw hope and maintained his normal speaking pace and asked, what was the reaction? Seeing that the high priest was somewhat hesitant and not answering immediately, Shin took the initiative to say, "High Priest, His Excellency Sparrow has already parted a portion of the fog. A depth deeper than we managed over the past 2,000 to 3,000 years. Nim couldn't help but look deeply at Gurmanspur before saying, more than 1,730 years ago, the high priest back then was inspired by the cruel fact that the Moon City had failed to achieve anything in the past 2,000 years. He felt that we couldn't treat this fog as a seal that needed to be broken through. Instead, it was treated as a great existence. He designated the horrific name Prayer Stanza and the corresponding symbols for this fog. He held repeated rituals here, attempting communication and praying. To the fog directly? Like the barrier? This is a train of thought that no normal person would have thought of. I didn't think of it just now. Indeed, after all these years, there must have been many people with strange ideals in Moon City. 3,000 years of time isn't nothing. Klein signed inwardly as he nodded slightly. Was there any feedback after that? With a nasal grunt and confirmation, Nim replied, there was at one point where the high priest changed the first sentence of the honorific name to eternally imperturbable fog. Then during the subsequent ritual, he vaguely heard a series of voices. Okay, he's hearing the ravings coming from deep within the fog. Unfortunately, he couldn't hear it clearly, no matter how hard he tried, making it impossible to interpret it. From then on, the rituals were held uncountable. We realized that the response wasn't always guaranteed. Even if there was a response, it might not be a timely one, and we needed to wait patiently. As the thoughts raced through his mind, Klein asked, how many times does it roughly take to succeed? There are no patterns. Sometimes we succeed at once. Sometimes we might not receive any feedback after a month. Nim said with a sigh, we have many alterations, but they were all useless. Did you hear what the voices said afterwards? Klein said, no, maybe our sequence isn't high enough. Oh, Klein is high enough. Come on. Could never do this ritual due to the words. He's like, how do I say this again? Oh shit, like, dude, we'd fuck up the rituals, man. We would get no response because we can't pronounce half of this shit, dude. He hesitated for a moment and said, sure, but many of the materials... Wait, I lost my place again, but it was worth it. Oh, man. Give me a sec. How many times? What was it? Our sequence isn't high enough? I found my place. No, maybe our sequence isn't high enough, or we are still lacking in strength. Nim shook his head. If that's the reason, I can give it a try. After hesitating for a few seconds, he politely asked, may you hold the correct ritual again? I would like to hear these voices. This kind of politeness was something Nim couldn't refuse, nor did he dare to refuse. He hesitated for a moment and said, sure, but many of the materials are in Moon City. You need to wait for some time. After some thought, Klein asked, have you used those materials before? Fucking historical void projection. Yes, Nim answered in confusion. Klein nodded indifferently. Let's just hold it now. Tell me when was the last time you used the materials and where they were nearby. Voice. I gotta stop streaming. Ah, man, I want to read one more, but I can't. Ah, shit, man. All right. We get voice tomorrow. All right, timestamp. Don't worry. Voice is tomorrow. I got you. Don't worry. Voice is tomorrow. 51 minutes. Yeah, I really want to read one more chapter, but we can't. Wait, hold on. Who's talking shit in chat? Nah, I'm fucking joking, man. That's half of the fun. I'm joking. The next 15 chapters are great. I'm hyped. These people are extremely corrupted. Oh, okay. When they were like losing control, right? Learning ancient sun god died made them. Oh, that's why they were losing control, because they realized he's dead. Okay, the information was too much. All these next chapters are going to be so good. I remember reading it in the early mornings, didn't sleep at all. Hope is the most beautiful human emotion. Easy could never do this ritual due to the words. Easy could never do the ritual because he would have trusted an evil spirit and sold his soul already. You know what, D? Yeah. Immediately gets turned into demoness. Yeah, man. It would have been GG, like, in volume 1. The deity looking at Easy. What is this guy trying to say? Fuck is this saying? Fuck is this guy saying, dude? Oh, man. Read it all together next stream. Oh, I can't read 15 tomorrow, man. Maybe 10 tomorrow. We'll see. I think I can do 10 tomorrow. And I think I can do 10 tomorrow, and maybe I can do like a 1-hour stream on Tuesday. I think I can squeeze a 1-hour stream on Tuesday. Yeah, because I don't want to like I do need at least some time like during my day to kind of just like wind down and relax. Otherwise, I will lose control if I don't just get to like sit down and react from like RL and like just IRL in general. But then you can't stop in between for those chapters, I think. Fuck. We'll see. 10 would be perfect actually, but you have to make sure you actually do 10, aka ending 1223. So are we reading 23 or are we stopping at 22? 10 is fine, I guess. We'll see. Fuck. Reading 23? Fuck. Shit. Fuck it. One more. So we're closer. No. I can't. I gotta stop. Heart stop. Nope. Fuck it. Heart stop. I gotta heart stop. I gotta go to bed. I'm taking sleeping pills, man. I gotta work on my sleeping schedule, man. Cause it's like I need to sleep. I need to wake up, man, at like 5 in the morning and start working out, man. I'm getting fat. It's not good, man. And then because I'm streaming now, I feel like I'm using streaming as an excuse to not work out when I should be working out if I miss working out in the morning. But don't worry. But I'm gonna hold myself accountable. Bro needs a sleepless potion. I know, man. I'm telling you, man. I wish I can just sleep 4 hours and go about my day. Go to sleep. 10 chapters are good. All right. I think I can do 10 chapters tomorrow. I think I can make it work. I'm feeling confident. Maybe not. We'll see. Unless I do like a random 30-minute stream right when I wake up, read a little bit, and then when I come back, I read a little bit more. All right, we'll see. Shit. All right, man. I'm gonna let you go. Peace. Have an amazing day. You guys have a beautiful night or morning wherever you live. Thank you to the 20 of you guys hanging out with me on a random, unannounced stream. I didn't even schedule anything. Dude, I said like 4 hours ago. No, I said like 4 hours ago. Hey, man, I might stream once I'm done eating. I ate and I fell asleep for like an hour and a half after doom scrolling. But yeah, I'm gonna let you go. Lock it in. Yeah, we'll lock it in. See you on next stream, man. I'll try to catch as many streams before I start working in 2 weeks. No, it's all good, Misty, man. Thank you, man. Get some rest, yeah. The next chapter would be great. All right, yeah. We're gonna need full energy. We're gonna need a lot of caffeine tomorrow. I think we're gonna need a Monster or a Red Bull. We're gonna need something tomorrow then. All right, man. I'm kidding. I'll let you guys go. Have an amazing day. Later, guys.